A huge thank you to our sponsors at InQ Hive. They're now open at Howe Mills, Basingstoke, with everything for freelancers, small and growing businesses, from virtual office and postbox services, hot desks, dedicated desks and serviced offices, plus amazing business support. Find out more at inqhive.co.uk. Hey, just imagine that instead of saying what I'm saying now, I was talking about your business, or perhaps you were talking about your business. You can advertise on About Basingstoke's podcast network for less than you might think. Just email info@aboutbasingstoke.com to find out more.
This is Chris for CLOKE and welcome to CLOKE Cooks. This week I'm very lucky to be honest. I don't know how I pulled this guest out. I'm joined by my good lady wife, Philippa CLOKE. Philippa, welcome to the CLOKE Cooks podcast. I bet you're ecstatic.
Hello everyone. Yes, I'm honoured to be invited, in fact.
Yes, you are indeed. And the reason for our podcast today is we generally on CLOKE Cooks we talk about food, but we can talk about a journey we have done together where we have travelled from Basingstoke to Plymouth, from Plymouth to Santander, and drove all the way down to Cala, which is near. Where's it near Cala?
Cala de Mijas is in between Malaga and Marbella. Midpoint. And the interesting fact that we have that you used to live in the area. I did. I lived in the area. I lived in Spain for 12 years, and I lived the latter part of those 12 years on the Costa.
Fantastic. So it was, I'd like to say, in a way, I've sort of tried to recreate sort of like Rick Stein. Rick, if you're listening, I am available. We can have that little interview if you want. It was a recreation of just travelling through Spain, seeing what real Spain was, because I think sometimes that people are very Benidorm and bangers, as my friend Barry would say, where they believe it's basically, you go to obviously Costa del Sol and it is basically full English with baked beans and everything, but there was a lot more to it.
Oh, enormous amount more to it. Whichever part you go to, even down on the south coast, where there are definitely more English influences.
Yes.
But this journey that we've just completed has been amazing. We have seen so much, eaten so many different types of food. Even cheese, as you go through the country, changes.
It's amazing. It's the cheese, as he said, we've been to every town and they've got a regional cheese.
Yeah. And they're all very different.
Very different. But similar style, but very different.
Yeah.
And so we just obviously looked on the map and we worked out it was 575 miles, which is taken, well, it could take 10 hours, but what we did over that sort of period, we split it into segments. So we wanted to go to different towns. And I think it's if you are going to do a journey, a bit of planning, a bit of help, and you can have a fantastic journey. Because I think it's one of those things that a lot of people, again, this is one of the reasons why a lot of people go, why don't you fly, Mr. CLOKE? I don't want to fly. And there's a good reason not to fly, because you miss out on parts of the journey, which is the experience of going to these towns where you normally wouldn't go to. And one of the ones we went to, so one of the places we managed to stop at was, how do you pronounce that?
That is El Escorial, where a very lovely family friend lives with her family.
Yes, isn't it sort of the royal family? It's very much the royal family obviously live in, well, not live, but obviously they spend a lot of time there.
It's a very historical suburb of Madrid, and in the cathedral, it's where all members of the royal family are buried, a bit like Westminster.
Westminster, okay, yeah. Fantastic. It was a stunning place, and what I like about obviously with Spain, and which we don't have in our country, is where we were walking the streets. I'm not joking, people. It's 10 o'clock, 10:30.
Yes.
And everyone's out having dinner, and it's very family orientated, and it was beautiful. It's an absolute fantastic experience. Well, I think that in an ideal world, we'd all like obviously to be in that sort of, let's go out sort of 9 o'clock, have some dinner, spend some family time. But the food there was totally different. We had we were cooked obviously some traditional chicken and a potato salad dish by our friends, which was just out of this world. Simple.
So simple, but so delicious. It was so good. In fact, we recreated it, didn't we?
Did.
When we got to the apartment down in Cala.
We did indeed. But So it's a great thing, as I like to obviously always say about obviously a food journey, that you try and plan where you're going. And we knew where we were going, but even just stopping at the service stations, which, okay, we've got service stations in the UK and they generally involve obviously fast food, but everywhere we went, it was independent cafes, which was a great thing. And you could just stop, have some tapas, quick beer, which I'm quite partial to the odd beer, but the food was phenomenal in a way that it was different.
Well, it was all fresh. It was all home cooked.
Home cooked, yeah.
From sort of local ingredients. There was nothing processed anywhere. No. Anywhere we went, it was just all home cooked food.
And one of the things they do over here, which I think is a great thing, it's called the menu. So please explain that, because again, you've lived in Spain for 12 years.
Menu del Día is a menu of the day, and it involves 3 courses and a drink, which can be a glass of wine or a beer or a soft drink.
Yeah.
And it's usually around the €10 mark.
Yeah.
And it's just the most incredible value. You have a light starter, a main dish, and a dessert. Main meal of the day in Spain is at lunchtime.
Yes.
So in the evening, Spaniards generally just tend to have pinchos or tapas or a snack, whereas they have their main meal at lunch. So the menu enables workers who don't get a chance to go home, for example, to have a proper meal at a very reasonable price.
Which is a great idea. I think it's very much obviously government driven, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Helping people as opposed to not.
Yes.
Say no more.
Say no more. We won't go. It's not a politics show. We're not saying a word about politics. Not going to that. And one of the things we've sort of discovered as we've come down on the journey is that we've stopped in some small towns, some very small towns, and there's always somewhere to eat.
Yes.
And the welcome that you'll receive is just the warmest welcome. They're quite happy to serve you. It's not a problem. And we stopped at somewhere the other on the way back. I'm trying to remember the name. And so we just had a steak sandwich, a steak sandwich, and that steak sandwich I could put on to be one of the best steak sandwiches I've ever had for not even just a service station, but a restaurant. I think certain restaurants go, blimey, that's very good. And that's the thing. So everything with food in this country is passion. And we were talking earlier about obviously tapas, and this is what I love about obviously with Spain. We've travelled. As I said, we've travelled through a few towns, and Burgos is a place that I don't think a lot of people go there from England, because it's not on their agenda.
No, not on their radar.
Not on the radar.
Undiscovered. You'd be pushed to find an English person in Burgos.
I think we were the only English people there.
Yeah,
I'll be honest.
But it's such a beautiful place, and it's got the food in Burgos is unbelievable. There is a traditional dish that we were very lucky to have,
yes,
which is suckling lamb done in the oven. So the skin is crispy, the meat is beautifully succulent and tender. I mean, I'd say it's the best lamb we've ever eaten, isn't it?
I think we've been ruined now.
Completely ruined. It was unbelievable. But just served with a few sliced potatoes that had been done in the oven. It's unreal, wasn't it?
It was simple, but great produce. I don't think I can ever eat lamb again. I think I'm broken. And one of the other dishes that we had today, on that day, was I'm very into soups, and I think soups are a great way. And even for us at home, we try and cook a lot of soups where basically you're using ingredients you have to hand that are leftovers. And one of the sort of dishes we had was a garlic soup. What's the name of the garlic soup?
Oh gosh, I can't remember. I do apologise. But in the garlic soup, it's not just garlic soup. You had chorizo,
yes,
which is obviously the Spanish sausage. You had some beans. There was an egg in there. It was just...
And the local black sausage.
Oh, and the black sausage as well, which the combination was unbelievable. Great for dunking your bread in the liquid.
So what do they call the stock over here? We were talking about this.
Caldo. It's called caldo.
Caldo. So basically it's a rolling stock, which that's probably a stock pot going in that kitchen, which is continuously going.
Yeah, and then they make different. That's the base, and from that point, they make different soups, different caldos.
Caldos. It's just it's one of the things that you probably, if you were going down to sort of other parts of Spain, you probably wouldn't come across, because it's not really. It's more sort of rural places where we sort of found these sort of more sort of hearty soups, and it's a way forward. It really is. It's a great way to use over the leftovers. So I know at the moment when I go back, there's probably stuff in the fridge. Hopefully it's all right, that we might well have to obviously put in a soup or some sort of stew. But that was one of sort of the highlights. Another one of the highlights we had when we travelled into Ronda, another beautiful town, which stunning in the mountains. For someone that doesn't like heights, I appreciate the heights. And one of the dishes we had there was one of their sort of local. We've been trying to hunt out local traditional dishes, and one of the ones was confit rabbit in a garlic sauce. And that, for a dish, to me was simple. That with some chips, but sauce. And that's what I found. Obviously, our sort of Spanish trip, that everything they do is simple, local, and done well.
I'd agree with that 100%. Yeah, and our journey has come to an end, which is very sad.
Or maybe, obviously, the journey has just begun.
Yes, darling, yes.
It's just begun.
But just as a point to add to this, we have got onto the Brittany Ferries boat to go back to Portsmouth.
We're currently in the bar at the moment.
But I'm looking ahead of me, and for lunch they're serving a buffet. The absolute detail and the ingredients and what they're offering here is just unreal, isn't it?
Shout out to our sponsors, well, maybe future sponsors, Brittany Ferries.
Love Brittany Ferries.
So the sort of, what we're trying to say is, obviously, I can obviously sort of wrap this up, Philippa, in a way, because we could be talking for hours.
Oh, darling, we do.
We do normally nonsense.
We don't want to bore everyone.
We don't want to bore everyone, but I highly recommend going, right, we're going to go to Spain. Don't fly. Get in the car, take the ferry, drive down, visit these towns, visit the real Spain, and find out what Spain is all about. Because I think at the moment, people don't know what it's bangers and Benidorm, really. Bangers and Benidorm, where there is so much great food and local produce and towns that you need to see.
Yeah, and we haven't even touched on the wine.
No, that could
be wine.
The wine. That's another podcast in itself. Well, we're going to see you go and grab yourself a bit of lunch. Thank you so much, Philippa, for joining me today on CLOKE Cooks.
My pleasure, darling.
So, how do you say CLOKE Cooks in Spanish?
Cocineros Cloaks.
Perfect. So obviously, that's our Spanish podcast. I hope you enjoyed that. Join me next week, where I've got some more amazing interviews. This has been Chris CLOKE, and thank you for listening at CLOKE Cooks. Thank you.
If you've been thinking about podcasting for your business or something else that you're passionate about Basingstoke gives you not only the platform, but also the professional support you need to make it happen. Find out more at aboutbasingstoke.com or email info@aboutbasingstoke.com.